guys, and welcome back to another video on my channel. In today's video, we're going to be talking about why I think that Amy and Ty should have gotten divorced in season 14 of Heartland instead of Ty dying. But before we get into all that, I need to remind you guys to please leave a like on the video if you enjoy, and to subscribe to my channel if you haven't already for daily Heartland videos and season 16 updates. If you guys are a fan of Heartland and want to stay up to date on everything Heartland related, make sure to hit the red subscribe button down below, and I will do my best to keep you guys as up to date as possible on everything Heartland related. But now, let's get into today's video topic. So, Amy and Ty's death has become one of the most talked about topics within the Heartland community. And I don't think I have to say very much to convince anyone of that. The events of season 14 and Ty's death and the end of Amy and Ty's story upset so many fans, okay? I am very active within the Heartland community on social media, and I can say without a doubt that Ty's death affected the show more than anything. And obviously that's to be expected. He was a main character. Now, for those of you guys that have seen the interviews with the Heartland writers and producers and creators, they explain why they chose to kill off Ty in season 14 instead of, having Amy and Ty divorced in season 14. And that was because they didn't want Ty's character to be an absentee father. They didn't want Ty's character to end up leaving Amy, and I get that, okay? I do. It makes sense. They wanted to honor Ty's character and have him die saving his wife's life. I think people forget that. Ty died saving Amy's life, so that is probably the best way they could honor his character. However, I don't think the Heartland writers were quite prepared for the reaction fans would have when it comes to Ty's death in season 14 of Heartland. Now, I've said before, and I'll say it again, that Amber Marshall and Graham Wardle did a fantastic job portraying Amy and Ty on Heartland. However, with that being said, if you are fans of my channel and you've been watching my videos for a while, you know that I am not a fan of Amy and Ty's relationship for one reason and one reason only, and that reason being, I think Amy and Ty's relationship was way too focused on in Heartland, and Ty's death maybe damaged the show beyond repair, if I'm being completely honest with you guys. And so that leads me to today's video topic. Why do I think that Amy and Ty should have got divorced in season 14 instead of Ty's death? Well, it's simple. Ty can no longer come back to Heartland. It's not possible, right? His character is dead. Now, if you've been on YouTube and looking up Heartland videos, you've probably seen videos claiming that Ty can return in some way, like he actually faked his own death, or he was in a coma, or something like that. Now, let's be honest. That's not going to happen, okay? So why do I think that Amy and Ty should have got divorced in season 14 instead of Ty's death? Well, it's simple. Graham Wardle wanted to leave the show, right? So they had to find a way for his character to leave the show. And they chose Ty's death because they wanted to honor his character. However, if Ty and Amy got divorced in season 14 instead of Ty dying, it would have left the door open for Ty to come back in future seasons of Heartland, and then all this negativity within the Heartland community surrounding the event of Ty's death and Graham Wardle wanting to leave the show, I think would have been drastically less than what it is now. Ty's death really divided the Heartland community, if I'm really honest with you guys, and Graham Wardle leaving the show really did damage to the Heartland community and to the show. Not just storyline-wise, but also people just being really overly negative and overly dramatic within the Heartland community. And so if Ty died in if they got divorced in Heartland season 14 instead of Ty dying, that would have left the door open, and then fans would probably be more okay with Ty's absence because there's a possibility that he could return. And then all this stuff going into Heartland season 16 about Amy finding a new relationship, I think would have been more accepted by the Heartland community, but because now we know he's never coming back, people are like, well, no, Amy will never find love again and stuff like that. So if I'm honest with you guys, while I do understand that they killed off Ty because they wanted to honor his character, I think that if they got divorced, it would have really did less damage in the long run, if I'm honest. Yes, fans would probably still be upset that Amy and Ty got divorced. However, the door would still be opened for Graham to come back if he wanted to. Do I think he would ever want to? Absolutely not. I think he is done with Heartland, and that chapter of his life he's done with and wanted to do other things, which is fine. However, even if Graham was completely aware of the fact that, and has made up his mind that he wanted to leave Heartland, forever, which I think he has, and he's made that very clear on many occasions, the door would still be opened if he wanted to return. And the storyline of Amy and Ty being divorced and him returning and coming back to Amy is much more reasonable than Ty faking his own death, or the fact that he was in a coma, or something like that. That is much more believable if they got divorced. It's much more believable storyline-wise and just story-wise that he would come back to Amy after being divorced and wanting to get back together versus Graham Wardle deciding he wanted to come back and then they have to come up with a storyline that he wasn't actually dead. Do you know what I mean? Like, I just think that Ty's death, in the event of Ty's death, really split the Heartland community. And I think that that split would be less impactful if Amy and Ty got divorced, if that makes any sense. Because then the door would be open for him to come back if he wanted to. But even if he didn't, there would always be that idea in the back of everyone's head that, maybe he could return in a way that makes sense. But now, since they chose to kill off his character, everyone knows that he can never come back, which I think did a lot of damage to the show. It shouldn't have, but it did. And that's because so many people were so attached to Amy and Ty's story. Way more attached than I think the writers were even aware of, and Amber and Graham themselves. But that is all I have for today's video. If you guys enjoyed, make sure to leave a like, drop a comment, and subscribe. And I will see you guys later. Goodbye.